In the late 19th century, the Ismaili community from Gujarat, India, migrated to Africa, Kenya specifically, and the largest part of the population of the Ismaili community are found in Nairobi, Kenya. This is to emphasize that the Ismaili community account for about 8,000 people, and now these 8,000 people arguably control about 10% of the Kenya economy. In 2020, Kenya's GDP was estimated to be around $101.1 billion. Now do the maths. A community of about 8,000 people and counting, controlling about 10% of a gross GDP of $101.1 billion. And this is the key that they used for them to get to that position. It is the key called community. The Ismaili community are known for their strong sense of community and their business acumen. And one of the things they do is they make sure that none of their members is left behind. They make sure none of them go to sleep hungry. They create a community contribution system that makes sure that every member of the Ismaili community in Kenya are fed almost daily. So, in order to thrive and grow quickly in whatever you are doing, it is important to harness the power of community. Every successful leader is one who has raised others. And there's a popular saying that says that anyone who claims to be a leader and has no one following is simply taking a stroll. The most wealthiest families on earth are those who have understood this key of community and have made sure that they build a team around whatever they are doing. The best example of your acumen as a leader is that you have people who are even smarter than you in your team. People that make you look good, because all of us are stronger than one of us. And this is what I find appalling today. Many people give up too quickly in life. They don't. You have to possess a mindset that says it is possible. In order for you to do the impossible, you must first see the invisible. Number two, you must have this mindset that is solution driven, solution conscious mindset. It is enough to know about the problem, but what makes the difference is the mindset that you possess that is always seeking solution to the problem. And one of the ways you make sure that you are able to administrate or administer the solution you find is to always be prepared for opportunity. Many people give up too soon because they don't have this simple mindset of being solution conscious. Many people are not able to see the results they desire in their life because they are missing out on this one powerful key, the key of being solution conscious, the key of having a growth mindset. I have faced several challenges in my life growing up, and one of the most important elements that helped me scale through some of these challenges is possessing this solution conscious and growth mindset. This reminds me of a story of how I secured my first gig as a freelance photographer many years ago as a student in the Federal University of Technology, Minna, Niger State in Nigeria. I just started out as a professional photographer independently, and one of the days I went out for a fashion show with my friends in the Legbo Kutigi Hall in Minna, Niger State, and one of the keynote speaker of that event that night was the press secretary to the Niger State Governor's wife. Her name is Aisha Wakaso, Mrs. Aisha Wakaso. I saw her speak that night, and I heard some of the things she said. She was speaking about empowerment, and she was emphasizing that there are opportunities for youth who are actually skilled to be empowered. And I heard her speak. That night I could not meet up with her because she had to leave before the event was over. But I made up my mind that if I ever get a chance to see her again, I would take her up on her offer that there are opportunities for young people who have skill and talent and are willing to be empowered. Fast forward to about a few weeks later, 2-3 weeks later, there was the All Nigerian Pharmacist Conference that was happening in the same conference center. And she was one of those guests that was invited. I don't know exactly why she was there, but I was photographing in that same event. And then I saw her walking. She was coming out from the hall. And then I remembered, this is the woman who spoke at this fashion event the other night. What did I do? I ran up to her and just humbly requested for a few minutes of her time after I had taken some photos for her. So she asked me, young man, what do you want? I told her, I said, ma, I listened to you speak at this fashion show the other day. And I am a student of the university. I am a photographer. And I'm open to opportunities that you have available for young people like me. Now, bear in mind, I am not an indigene of that state. I'm just a student studying in that state. She was impressed by my presentation, and she gave me a card and asked that I call her the next Monday. I called her, and the next thing I heard, and I'm saying this to emphasize a point, preparation for opportunity. It is too late to prepare when opportunities present themselves. It is important to prepare and wait for the opportunities while you are seeking them out. Don't seek out opportunities that you are not prepared for. The next time I got a call from her, she called me and asked him to come to the official house, the office. I went there. And she asked me to come with my camera. I didn't know what was happening, but I was with my camera. I stepped out. I went there, met her in the office. They kept me at the lobby. I didn't know that there was an official meeting going up with the governor's wife. I never knew that it was the governor's wife's birthday. This was about 2015, I believe. So when the meeting was over, she sent for me to come upstairs. I went upstairs. And she told me, bring out your camera, take photos. I saw an elderly woman, I believe in a middle-aged. She seemed to be the leader of the team. It was her birthday, so they were cutting cake and just exchanging pleasantries. It was a festive moment. And I took some photos. And I never knew the room I was in. Honestly, I didn't know who these men and women were. The only person I knew in the room was Mrs. Aisha Wakaso. So she called me after the meeting. We sat down. She asked me questions. And one of the most important things you can learn as a young person growing up is ability to ask the right questions. I sat with her. She was asking me questions. And then I also sought for opportunities to ask her questions. At the point, she looked at me intently and stopped me and said, how old are you? At the time, I think I was 21 or 22 years. And she said, you speak like you've lived more than your age. I said, I've had to grow up quickly in life. And from that, she perceived that I was someone who knew what I wanted out of life. And the next, one of the most profound opportunity I got as a student on campus, then as also a photographer, was on a Sunday afternoon. I was just finishing up from my campus fellowship, and she called me up. Praise, where are you? I said, ma, I'm on campus. We just finished fellowship. She said, are you with your camera? I said, yes, ma. She said, all right. Are you well dressed? I said, yes, ma. Of course, I was wearing a blazer like I am today. She said, all right, come to the presidential villa. I have something for you. Little did I know that on that same day, the vice president which was the acting president at the time of Nigeria, in the person of Professor Yemi Osibajo, was coming to Minna, the capital of Niger State at the time, and he was coming for a big concert that will be graced by the presence of the governor and other dignitaries in the state. She just said, come to the presidential villa. I have some work for you. Straight from the campus, I took a transport. I got there. Massive security. The motorcade of the governor was getting ready. In fact, the securities were almost hassling me like, hey, you, what are you looking for here? I had to tell them, this is the person who called me. So I had to call her on the phone and then put the phone on speaker. She asked me to put the phone on speaker so she could speak to the security personnel at the gate. I put the phone on speaker and she spoke to them and they allowed me in. I sat at the lobby. I'm seeing all kinds of guns, all kinds of security, armed men I'd never seen before in my life. At the point I was scared, like, what am I doing here? How did I get here? I'm just a student trying to make ends meet. I hope I'm safe. And then she just called me, sent someone to lead me and guide me on how I was to go. I didn't know she was not there. She sent me to represent her as the photojournalist for the reception of the acting president at the airport, which was a private airport that was not really open to the public. And that's my first time being in the same entourage with commissioners of the state and being on the same motorcade with the governor of the state to receive the president, the acting president of the country at the time. And now, what am I emphasizing with this story? I'm emphasizing preparation for opportunities and also having the growth mindset, a solution conscious mindset. Always preparing for opportunities, because opportunities will come most times when you are not even sure they were going to come. However, you are able to harness these opportunities when you are prepared for them. Humorously, my wife was telling me the other day when I told her how I got a contract in my line of work. And she said, you are always prepared. I said, yes, I am always prepared, because I have learned the lesson that preparation precedes manifestation. You must prepare so that when the time comes, you are ready to deliver anytime. This is a lesson for you. Regardless of what you do, always spend time preparing. Preparation precedes manifestation. And the quality of time you spend preparing will make it easy for you when it comes to delivery of your expertise. Your gift will make room for you, but your preparation is what to ensure that you deliver in the presence of greatness. But also, when you are done delivering, it is your character that you have built over time that will ensure that you stay or you retain access to that room of greatness. See you next time. God bless you.